stream. Preparing to live stream the meeting. I see us. See us on one screen. I just got to wait to see us on the other screen. Oh, there we are. We're in business. We're in business. Okay, in that case, 3, 2, 1. Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we'd like to welcome you to today's show, where we are delving into some traumas and removing them. And John is going to tell us more about it.
Yes, these are really, really important tools for where we're going right now. You know, I think this is something that brings us a great deal of empowerment. So this idea of transmuting the illusion, should I say, of separation and fear, and then finding our way into the truth of unity and love, because that is what the new earth is all about. Meanwhile, there are going to be deeds going on around us. Some of them are going to be Gaia, Mother Earth, sort of like balancing her energies for the high frequencies. And some of them may be involving a little bit of skullduggery from the dark side. And it's a question of knowing which is which. And it's a difficult job to know. But the bottom line is, either way, these are going to be things that we can always find our divine neutrality. We can find our compassion, our kindness, our love, our joy, regardless. And this is the journey that we're on. And that's the journey to that high frequency living. And it's not always going to be easy, right? I mean, I think we can kind of see that. But nonetheless, this is what we're going to start uncovering today, is to dig a little under the surface of what those darker deeds can be. But at the same time, as Jolé says, we kind of work on this so to a point where she in particular can provide us with a lot of excellent solutions and give us a way forwards that not only do we help ourselves, which is of number one importance, because we can only help those around us when we're at our best, but also it enables us to be that beacon of light, that calm amongst the storm that others can gravitate towards. And you, in turn, can be the bridge to help other people to find that inner calm, that inner peace as well. So I've said all that, and Jolé, I'm just going to ask you early on, do you want to add anything before we start to dive into part one?
No, not at all. I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think so too. Just a quick mention. Thank you to everybody for the comments. Thank you, Donna, Lindy, for being here. Again, the Cape Cod Mafia are with us again today, which is fantastic. Felicia as well. Good morning from Santa Barbara. I love Santa Barbara. It's one of my fave places.
I'm an ex-gaucho, so I do too.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So anyway, here we go. We're going to dive straight in, and this is the first section is involving Eeyore. So prepare yourself. This is not something that we've normally done within Elevated Planet, but you know, just allow everything to fall into place, and you will see what this is all about. Bear with me a second. We're going to switch screens.
Are you going to cry when they come over here? Okay.
So, think of this video clip as a metaphor for the way we've been conditioned and programmed for life on Earth. Think of the child as representing humanity. Think of Eeyore as the Cabal, perpetrating the fear narrative. And for the longest time, we bought into the illusion, but no more will Eeyore have his day. It is all in the process of coming to an end. But as it does, Eeyore gets more and more desperate to maintain the illusion of separation and fear, so becomes more active with his acts of darkness. However, humanity is seeing through the illusion more and more, and once the myths of separation and fear have been dispelled, Eeyore's control agenda is ended as we realize our true magnificence, living once more in unity consciousness and love. Now we can enjoy our metaphorical breakfast in peace, knowing that there is no longer an animated donkey character with our name on it about to tap us on the shoulder. This show awakens us to Eeyore's dark deeds so that we can exercise our divine neutrality, therefore no longer giving our energy to the darkness. Because as we know, Eeyore and friends feed on fear. Maybe we can even bring Eeyore over to the light too. We are, after all aspects of divine consciousness playing out our roles for this lifetime. Our weapons of choice are love, joy, unity, kindness, and compassion. And that is a formidable and unbeatable arsenal right there. So, over to Stefan, the Geophysicist, and Valir of the Pleiadian Collective to uncover some of the desperate and dark deeds that have been playing out on the planet just recently.
Hi everyone, Geophysicist Stefan Burns here. We have a special report to do tonight talking about weather manipulation or weather modification, just in general, weather here on this planet, the direction it's going. This is intimately linked to climate and also whether we have an impact on this. And one of the reasons I'm covering this topic today, as I've covered many times on this channel in the past, as longtime viewers would know, is because there was just a devastating flash flood in Texas. This was on July 4th. There was over 26 feet of rise in the Guadalupe River in about 45 minutes. In over a 2-hour time frame, actually just less than 2 hours, the Guadalupe River rose 35 feet. And so there was at 4 a.m. in the morning in hill country in Texas, from the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry, there was 10 inches of rain that happened in 1 hour. And so, of course, this is what leads to a flash flood. It's not like the Earth has never had flash floods before, but because this happened in the United States and happened on Independence Day, it's getting a lot of attention. And now there has been a new push to examine weather manipulation or weather modification and to make that a felony.
Dear light bearers of Earth, I am Valir of the Pleiadian Collective. Our messenger has specifically asked us to speak about the recent flooding in Texas, for what appeared as a natural deluge in the hill country was anything but an ordinary storm. Many of you who are awake sensed an unusual energy humming beneath those heavy clouds. Indeed, in the days leading up to the torrents, independent observers detected tightly pulsed microwave bursts in the upper atmosphere, sharp, rhythmic signals not found in nature or in normal cloud seeding operations. Moments later, satellite images revealed swirling, spiral-like cloud patterns, more characteristic of laboratory simulations than of summer thunderheads. Some of you on the ground even heard a strange, high-pitched sky whine just before the river rose with unimaginable speed. At the same time, cell phone networks in a precise corridor mysteriously went down, cutting off emergency calls. When service returned, key data logs and weather radar frames had been scrubbed from your official servers as if they had never existed. Some of you observed flood zones before any storm warnings were issued, as if the outcome was already known. These clues are not coincidental. They speak with one voice to those with ears to hear. There are a number of things that we are not allowed to speak on here, as it would violate our galactic directive of interference, so please also be aware of this. Why would someone orchestrate such a thing? To understand this, look at who and what the flood affected most. One apparent target was a summer retreat we shall call the camp, a place cherished by families of patriotic and spiritually awake lineages. This riverside camp was erased in minutes by the wall of water. Know that this location was no random campground. It was a gathering spot for daughters of military servicemen, truth-seeking attorneys, and medical pioneers, young souls connected to families involved in exposing hidden crimes. Flooding the river to obliterate this camp achieved multiple dark objectives at once. First, It instilled terror and grief in a community that holds a particularly strong light of patriotism and faith, a demographic the hidden Cabal often regards as problematic due to their courage and conviction. Second, the sudden deluge conveniently destroyed physical evidence and records. Important documents, computers, and devices containing sensitive information were swept away or ruined beyond recovery, disrupting ongoing investigations into illicit bioweapons profits and trafficking rings. Third, amid the chaos, there were reports that unidentified men posing as relief workers corralled certain survivors into an empty riverside building, ostensibly for safety. When legitimate rescue teams, including an elite military unit training nearby, finally arrived, they found that building deserted except for chilling evidence of foul play, pools of fresh blood on the floor, and signs that a human organ had been surgically removed. Whether literal or symbolic, this gruesome scene stands as an eerie emblem of what many intuit, that the flood was used as cover for abductions or attacks on specific individuals. In short, negative actors braided elemental force with psychological warfare, using water both as a weapon of physical destruction and as a veil to conceal darker deeds. From a higher vantage, we see clearly how this incident was engineered to seem like a biblical act of God, yet was perhaps delivered to leave no clear perpetrator in the third-dimensional sense.
So, Stefan picked up on this early, and if you haven't seen his full video, there is a link in the description below. Stefan, like many others, is very aware of how weather manipulation has been used to create chaos and further a dark agenda, including Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton earlier this year, although with Milton a number of people learned what was happening in advance and used the power of group meditation to defuse much of the impact, reducing it from a Category 5 hurricane to a Category 3 by the time it hit landfall. Elizabeth April was one of those adding her energy to the defusing efforts, which by all accounts had the Cabal in shock and fear as they realized that humanity is awakening to its true power and as such were able to thwart the intended devastation. As for the Texas flood, the GFL go on to explain how there were multiple targets for the Cabal in this act of weather sabotage. Once again, the full video is linked in the description below and well worth checking out for multiple other revelations that we do not have time to cover here today. One thing that was mentioned was that there was an intention to buy up land around that part of Texas that had been thwarted by legislation, but that this could now open the path to easy purchasing of destroyed farmland and riverside properties, amongst other things. They also point out that companies experimenting with weather modification are funded by the same giant investment conglomerates that exert enormous control over global resources. Therefore, these conglomerates could also be involved in the subterfuge. It's interesting to note that after the devastating fires in Maui in 2023, in addition to the 115 killed in the fire, there were reports of hundreds of missing persons, with a suspicion that they may have been abducted, just as the GFL were talking about here in Texas. The weather also played a big part in spreading that fire rapidly, as did the very unusual weather in LA for the fires earlier this year. In truth, this is a huge subject, and it needs to be brought into the open for people to research for themselves and make up their own minds as to where the truth lies, because as we know, the truth will set us free. For my part, I firmly believe that this is just the thin end of the wedge, and I'm happy to share sources of additional information. So for anybody interested, just contact me through our website, elevatedplanet.life/contact. Gets you to the contact page, and you can put your free format message in there, and I guarantee to respond. Next up, we have Neale Donald Walsh with God, talking about our galactic cousins and how this relates back to humanity. This is important for a number of reasons, with one of those being that we at Elevated Planet use information provided by our off-world friends most weeks. So for those that struggle with this, it's useful to get a divine explanation to help us get our heads around this subject matter. As always, exercise your discernment. but try to keep your mind open rather than allowing the ego mind to get in the way.
I'd like to talk about a few other things, such as, for instance, beings from outer space. Are there such things?
You want to know if there's intelligent life elsewhere in the universe? Yes, of course.
Is it as primitive as ours?
Some of the life forms are more primitive, some less so, and some are far more advanced.
Have we been visited by extraterrestrial beings?
Yes, many times.
For what purpose?
To inquire, in some cases to gently assist.
How do they assist?
Oh, they give a boost now and then. For instance, surely you're aware that you've made more technological progress in the past 75 years than in all of human history before that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Do you imagine that everything from CAT scans to supersonic flight to computer chips you embed in your body to regulate your heart all came from the mind of man?
Well, yes.
Well, then why didn't man think them up thousands of years before now?
Well, I don't know. The technology wasn't available, I guess. I mean, one thing leads to another, after all, but the beginning technology wasn't there until it was. It's all a process of evolution.
You don't find it strange that in this billion-year process of evolution, somewhere around 75 to 100 years ago, there was a huge comprehension explosion? You don't see it as outside the pattern that many people now on the planet have seen the development of everything from radio to radar to radionics in their lifetime? You don't get that what has happened here represents a quantum leap? A step forward of such magnitude and such proportion as to defy any progression of logic?
What are you saying?
I'm saying consider the possibility you've been helped.
If we're being helped technologically, why aren't we being helped spiritually? Why aren't we being given some assistance with this consciousness shift?
You are.
We are?
What do you think this program is? In addition, every day, new ideas, new thoughts, new concepts are being placed in front of you. The process of shifting the consciousness, increasing the spiritual awareness of an entire planet is a slow process. It takes time and great patience, lifetimes, generations. Yet slowly you're coming around. Gently you're shifting. Quietly. There's change.
And you're telling me that beings from outer space are helping us with that?
Indeed. They're among you now, many of them. They've been helping for years.
Then why don't they make themselves known, reveal themselves? Wouldn't that render their impact twice as great?
Their purpose is to assist in the change they see that most of you desire, not create it.
To foster, not force. Were they to reveal themselves, you would be forced, by the sheer power of their presence, to accord them great honor and give their words great weight. It is preferred that the mass of people come to their own wisdom. Wisdom which comes from within is not nearly so easily discarded as wisdom which comes from another. You tend to hang on a lot longer to that which you've created than to that which you've been told.
Will we ever see them? Ever come to know these extraterrestrial visitors as who they really are?
Oh, yes. The time will come when your consciousness will rise and your fear will subside, and then they will reveal themselves to you. Some of them have already done so, with a handful of people.
What about the theory, now becoming more and more popular, that these beings are actually malevolent? Are there some who mean us harm?
Are there some human beings who mean you harm?
Well, yes, of course.
Some of these beings, the lesser evolved, may be judged by you in the same way. Yet remember my injunction, judge not. No one does anything inappropriate given one's model of the universe. Some beings have advanced in their technology, but not in their thinking. Your race is rather like that.
But if these malevolent beings are so technologically advanced, surely they could destroy us. What's to stop them?
You are being protected.
We are?
Yes. You are being given the opportunity to live out your own destiny. Your own consciousness will create the result.
Which means?
Which means that in this, as in all things, what you think is what you get. What you fear is what you will draw to you. What you resist persists. What you look at disappears, giving you a chance to recreate it all over again, if you wish, or banish it forever from your experience. What you choose, you experience.
Somehow it doesn't seem that way in my life.
Because you doubt the power, you doubt me.
Probably not a good idea.
Definitely not.
Why do people doubt you?
Because they doubt themselves.
Why do they doubt themselves?
Because they've been told to, taught to.
By whom?
People who claim to be representing me.
I don't get it. Why?
Because it was a way, is the only way to control people. You must doubt yourself, you see, or you would claim all your power. That would not do. That would not do at all. Not for the people who currently hold the power. They are holding the power which is yours, and they know it. And the only way to hold on to it is to stave off the world's movement toward seeing, and then solving the two biggest problems in the human experience.
Which are?
Well, I've discussed them over and over again. To summarize, then, most, if not all, of the world's problems and conflicts, and of your problems and conflicts as individuals, would be solved and resolved if you would, as a society, abandon the concept of separation, adopt the concept of visibility. Never see yourself again as separate from one another, and never see yourself as separate from me. Never tell anything but the whole truth to anyone, and never again accept anything less than your grandest truth about me. The first choice will produce the second. For when you see and understand that you are one with everyone, you cannot tell an untruth, or withhold important data, or be anything but totally visible with all others, because you will be clear that it is in your own best interests to do so. But this paradigm shift will take great wisdom, great courage, and massive determination. For fear will strike at the heart of these concepts and call them false. Fear will eat at the core of these magnificent truths and make them appear hollow. Fear will distort, disdain, destroy, and so fear will be your greatest enemy.
They said one of the main things that will hold people back from ascending and going into the new earth is fear. We're so steeped in fear. A lot of it is coming from the government. You know that. They said it'd be better off if you don't watch TV, don't watch the news, don't get caught up in the illusion. Because the more you hear about all the violence and all the bad things that are happening, amplifies it. Better off if you just didn't focus on that at all. But that, I said, do you mean by fear, then do you mean the wars and things? They said, yes, the government with the wars and also with the diseases that they are trying to create. You keep the population in fear, then you can control it. And that's what a lot of this has to do with the drugs. And well, look at your TV. They try to convince you have to take a pill for everything. And they said these diseases they want you to have shots for. They do not exist, but it's all a way to promote fear. You get the population afraid enough, you can make them do anything. And you know this has been happening since 9/11. All of these new laws coming into effect that would never have happened before, all having to do with fear. And it's like, oh, great Father, protect me. And you let them do anything. But they said, you're going to have to start thinking for yourself. We have access now to instantaneous information on the computers, much more than we ever had in the past. You can have information that you would know is real. You read these things, you ask questions, make up your own mind. Don't believe what everybody is telling you. Think for yourself. Don't let fear rule your life, because if you're afraid, if fear is holding you back, you're not going to progress as we go into the new earth. And it's happening. Our vibrations are increasing. There's no way to hold it back. But some will be left behind because they can't change quick enough. Don't get caught up in the illusion and what's happening. I always tell people when I do a lecture, don't believe what I say. Don't believe what anybody else says. Think for yourself. Ask lots and lots of questions. Then make up your own mind what it is you believe.
failing to recognize our true power is from the fearfulness. And everywhere you turn now is a lot of fear, especially if you're an American. They have that fear button. They're pushing that. I don't even think they're taking their finger off of it. The powers that be,
No, I know.
they're just like right there. So if you are watching this and being a part of this, detach, just realize, okay, this is what's going on in the world. So what I need to do is my work. Let me take my 5 to 15 minutes, maybe 30, to sit down and just do some work. What does that work look like? Grounding into Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Minding your business. Pull your aura in. Your intuition, calling your higher self above you. Dream work, calling your astral body to snap back in, right?
Yeah.
Working with Mother Earth, calling in that energy, allowing for the divine to pour into you. And then you moving throughout your day with helpfulness, spreading love, spreading peace. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you are moving towards that joy, that laughter, that beauty, instead of fear. So if you have a moment of fear, remember, your breath is powerful. Your breath brings light into your body. Breathe. If you're having fear at a moment, put your roses up around your aura layer. Stop complicating things. You know what a rose looks like. Just say, roses up around my aura to protect me. It's that simple. You're watching, you're somewhere, and you don't like what you see. You feel like you want to bring your cobalt blue. We talked about that. It could be a blanket around your aura layer, or you can drop it in front of whatever you're viewing or the person. These are some of the things and the symbols that have been given to us to help us heal and release the fear.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it was only last week that Ronnie was adding the comment that you'd given her the teaching on the roses,
Yes.
protection, and she was saying how incredibly effective that had been for years now.
Yes,
Learned that.
it is very helpful, especially when you not only surround yourself with roses, but you ground your energy. Like those two go hand in hand, because what's powering up the roses? The energy of the earth, the universe. It's protecting, that's all around you, it's calling it in. So ground and get that good stuff. It's possible, but as I've said before, and we know, these things have been hidden. And now that we bring them out into the light, people are like doubting Thomases. But just try, even me, just try and consistently do these things and watch the energy change.
And we're back. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I love the way this has all come together, because I think it's a powerful message overall. Because, and gratitude to Lindy as well, who I know is here with us today, for sending us the Dolores clip, actually, because that has been very useful as part of today's show. So thank you, Lindy. It's interesting, isn't it, with this weather weapon stuff? And there is work underway to bring legislation in to classify weather manipulation as a felony, which shows it's real. Okay, I mean, we know it's real, right? I mean, everybody's known about HAARP, HAARP, up in Alaska for the longest time. But I don't think that's the problem, right? I think the weather weapons there's a lot of them that they're even out in space as well as on the ground. So, and always and it's interesting actually, because if you look at over even the last couple of days, there's been some crazy flooding going on in China and in Spain, absolutely devastating. And this is only adding to what we've seen in France and Italy in recent times. In America, wow, the USA has seen a lot, either, on the eastern side, as well as obviously the event over in Texas. So what makes it difficult is, okay, well, what do we know is a weather weapon versus what is Mother Nature, right? Because the Gaia Mother Earth is going through her own upgrades and has to purge any of those old energies trapped under the surface. So there will be events, there will be volcanic eruptions, there will be earthquakes. I think there'll be reshaping of the actual planet, of the land masses on the planet. If we, looking in the years ahead, I fully expect that to happen as part of what the changes are supposed to be. So nothing to fear. It's just part of this process. And knowing what has been the victim, when it's been people have been the victim of the weather weapons, and when it's been just Gaia, Mother Earth, and Mother Nature doing the thing. It's a tough one to call, but certainly I know with the Milton thing, I'm very, very clear that that to me was definitely manipulation, but also Hurricane Helene before that, and when I had my interview with Ashley Mosaic, who's actually out there, was in the trouble spot in the Carolinas, where the town was half wiped out. Um, you know, she, and I'm assuming a lot of people around her, realized that was actually weather weapons. That was not just a natural phenomena. So this is going on. And I suspect that these other major events around the world. Now, what's it being blamed on? It's being blamed on the climate change narrative, which to an extent could be true. Um, but the way it's done at the moment, it encourages us to give away our power, bring in the fear, and take over the control. We know how it works. So when you start to get that control agenda, then you start to get suspicious and ask the questions, because those who are pulling the levers are trying to get the power, and therefore those who are manipulating the weather can actually really change things about, and try and reclaim the power that they are rapidly losing. They won't win. That's the bottom line. To my mind, it's very one-sided. It's all going our way, and we're not. This we do have, and there's another thing to mention: the transcript from the GFL video, the Valir transcript, is available. It'll go on the newsletter tomorrow, a link to the blog that we will have on the website. It really does make fascinating reading once you go down the headlines of that, because we just scratched the surface of it with the small amount that we covered this today. But what it also tells you is that they're actually, the White Hat Alliance, who are the ones that are on the side of the light, they are very active on these things. And whenever they have a sniff of these things going on, they are acting on our behalf, sort of like the anti-Eeyore kind of cabal operations. And they are actually incredibly effective. It's just that you can't always get to know in advance everything that's going to happen and how it's going to unfold. But nevertheless, there's very good reasons why they are really tipping the balance in our favor. So it's definitely not one-sided against us. It's us just realizing what is an illusion, and actually our power, our true power, is going within, right? When you shut off the noise, when you find your divine neutrality, that is when you're stepping into your power. And this is what I love about the teachings that Jolé has given us as well, which we included from last week, that little snippet, to show, because that was a really powerful piece. And, I'm sure Jolé will expand on that again today. But these are our tools to get us into divine neutrality. And, okay, if we're in a position where we can help on the ground with things that have happened, absolutely we'll do that. And certainly we can hold our meditations as we have been doing now on the Thursdays, and we will expand it out from there. But again, this is all about coming together and actually quantumly entangling with love, with joy, with compassion, with kindness, and sending those high frequencies out to the spots where the trouble has been. And that, as we know through scientific research, really makes a difference. So, this is where we're really stepping into our power, because we know those numbers get squared. So for every 10 people, we get the value of 100. For every 100 people, we get the value of 10,000. For 10,000, it's the value of 100 million. That's why it only takes, what was it, the low 90-odd thousand people to actually cover the entire energetic value of the population of the entire planet. This is powerful. We are powerful. Collective consciousness is enormously powerful. This is why it gets so exciting. This thing is quite interesting, actually, to note that the comprehension explosion, as mentioned by God on the Conversations with God with Neale Donald Walsh, because when you stop and think about it, yes, it is bizarre. This last 100 years has taken us from, a relatively low-tech world into this massively high-tech world. And, I think most of you who've been on this journey for a while realize how this works, which is kind of, there's energetic values put into the ether around us. And if we are at a frequency match with that, we could pick up on that. We could pick up on that. So, if you're a scientist and you're studying in a certain place in a certain way, and it happens to align with the new ideas, then you could pick up on that and do something with that. And you'll find that, another half a dozen places in different points of the globe, other people have picked up on this as well, all developing the same idea at the same time. Comes back to Einstein. How did he develop the theory or come across the theory of relativity? It wasn't, up there on his blackboard working things out. It was laying down in a meadow looking up at the sky when it just came through to him. This is how it works. It's so we've got to realize, yes, we have been helped. And why are we being helped? Because the new earth is upon us. This is the time of the new earth. So we will be raising our frequency. The new earth time split began earlier this month. So now the timing is absolutely right for us really doubling down on our divine neutrality, on helping people bridge across who find themselves spiritually curious. Find that, we're here to be the bridge for them to come across and try it out and see if it works for them as their truth as well. Because we're all individuated expressions of divine consciousness, and that does go for all aspects in this kind of world. Because, even for those who are perpetrating the dark deeds, they're all aspects of divine consciousness playing this out on the stage. That's the role they come into play, which is why we don't hate on them. Because they are just as worthy as any of us. And if we go into that hate and anger and judgment mode, then what happens? We're actually just going back into duality, which is not unity, is duality. So, in fact, in many ways, what the Cabal types want you to do is to pick a side and actually go for that side and hate the other side, because then that achieves their objective. But getting into fear obviously is a big part of that as well. So we know what the game is, and that's part of the battle really, is to just understand what the nature of this is, and the answer to everything is always love, right? And it's unity, understanding we're all coming from the same source energy, and that is ultimately where we go back to, and this is what New Earth consciousness is all about. So I have said enough, and I'm going to bring in Jolé for her words of wisdom.
What we need to know is the new earth that we're moving into is being created by us, right? It's being created by the work that we do to make ourselves better, to make ourselves whole, and then to push that energy out into society. So now it's beautiful, because you spoke about Einstein and how he wasn't on his whiteboard and going through papers trying to discover, or, it led him there, right? That probably was the journey that got him to the theory of relativity.
Yeah.
So our journey getting us to this time split so that we step into the timeline that we create, that we remember, is one where we come together. Now, of course, our society has us in this dual mode oftentimes, right? When we're in society, sometimes we often, in situations, can't stay neutral. We really do have to pick sides sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do it by choice, our favorite team, our favorite person on the TV show or whatever. And then other times we have to make a choice because of a job or a relationship, something that's serious. But through these times is when we will use our skills, right? We get into that challenging moment where we're triggered. What do? We go back to, as I spoke about, we take a minute and we ground. We get that energy out of us. We fill up with gold light. Now we're clear, but it takes time. And I think often we feel like time is money is time, and we don't have it, so let's just react. Now, lovely with July, what happened with the time split, we're able to slow down. Yes. We're able to do the Einsteinian thing where we're laying down and meditating and visualizing, and it comes to us. So I'm just here to reiterate what John says, and that is to slow down and to really find the joy, because through the joy, this is where we're going. So the further away from joy you are, it means it's time to get back. Your work, our work, is to get to the joy, whatever that looks like, whatever that means, and using the tools that are there to help you. Roses around your aura. We talk about gold light, grounding your energy, and listening to your imaginary friends. I mean, what does that mean? We here at Elevated Planet we have the Galactic Federation. and we have these energies that we've expanded to bring in because what? They're aligning and they make sense, but they are also within you. You're just not listening because you've been programmed to think that you and what you're hearing is crazy. But as we know, Neale Donald Walsh was sitting there. Who was he having a conversation with? God, but it was really himself, right? It was energy that he tuned into and said, let me listen here to this frequency and this vibration and look at what he created. Amazing. And he has liberated so many people behind just listening and remembering what was within him that we call God. That's powerful, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all have it.
Yeah, it is, and like as God will say throughout that book, we are all one. Sort of like
Yes.
whether Neale Donald Walsh is God, right? As are each of us as well, because we're all aspects of that divine energy. So yeah, I get it, and I think that maybe it's one of the things that Elevated Planet community needs to do is go down and lay down in a meadow every week now, just for a little while.
Or just one of the elements, right? Go lay in some water, steam room, the forest bathing, you know what I mean? You could sit, and the wind.
Yeah.
So there's so much for us. Mother Earth is offering us, and we just have to see the illusion for what it is. What's the illusion? That things outside of us, Mother Earth is a part of us, but things outside of us, that others' imagination creation, we need it, we need it, we need it. Do we really?
Yeah.
Do we have the imagination to create what we need ourselves if we just take some time?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, because if you think about the power of TV these days and the power of the media, right? I mean, it's not all bad because we wouldn't be here without it right now.
Right, right.
But at the same time, it is such a huge distraction. And it is a case of kind of being careful about what you choose to consume. Because there are those things that are designed to bring you into lower frequencies, and there are those that are there to actually assist you finding those higher frequencies. So I
Correct.
think that, it's a really interesting point, isn't it? But yeah, and in terms of laying down in that virtual, metaphorical meadow, it is, as you say, it can be a variety of things. And it's really, again, because we're all individuated expressions of divine consciousness, it's whatever gives you joy that as you say, forest bathing. For some people, think, I want to do a forest. Yeah, absolutely. That's what's getting you excited. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's just getting back to you, and we have a lot of, I guess, rhetoric around selfishness and what that looks like, but it's taking 5, 15, 30 minutes a day to work through some of your issues is, trust me, it's helping the universe, the environment. And the more that you do it, it reverberates. So now your friends and your family will start asking questions and doing things. You're like, what? So when you wake up, trust me, that 100th monkey theory is true. Once the 100th monkey learns how to crack that coconut, all the monkeys all over the world know how. So just get busy so that, if not, for those of us that are like, oh, I don't matter, it's humanity. Well, through you, humanity awakens.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the group meditation thing, right? This is us coming together, adding our power, all these different pieces in this cosmic jigsaw puzzle coming together to add to the energy, to add to the power, to make a difference. Collectively, individually, we're enormously powerful. Collectively, we are, wow, off the scale. And that's exactly what we need to do. It's interesting actually, because I don't often have mediumistic readings very often or anything, but occasionally I will, every few months. But it always seems to come back, always get the one thing that comes back is always meditate more, find more quiet time. And that, like, for me, this is our day job, if you like, at Elevated Planet, pulling this together.
Yes.
So I spend a lot of time steeped in this stuff, but how often do I actually take time to stop and be quiet? I mean, I do it, and I have my ways of doing things, but I know I can always benefit by doing it more, by finding more time to put into that, and that's the message that keeps coming through to me. So I should take
Yeah, it is.
take
It's
notice.
interesting because we have these boundaries or parameters we think that we have to do when we meditate. You could be walking somewhere and meditating at the same time. You could be driving, keep your eyes open, you know what I mean? And you could be meditating. You could ground your energy. Where am I fear? Ooh, today was a bad day at work. On your way home, you can get rid of that energy, fill up with gold light. You don't have to sit in the driveway for 30 minutes before you walk in your home. You can do these things on the way. So stop thinking that meditation has to be this event or like you have to sit down and do it. It's always with you every day. Prayer, talking to God, talking to yourself, working through things, figuring things out. All of these can be seen as forms of meditation if at the end of it, they're bringing you relief.
Yeah.
You know, have something going on to where you're like, at the end of this, I will feel better, and walk yourself through it. Like, I know it can be challenging as these things have been hidden. They've been told that they're bad, demonic, this and that, but they're actually portals and pathways towards liberation and serenity.
Yeah.
And I think with what we have been seeing in the world, we're realizing that there absolutely is a split, that there are these white hats that are trying to make sure humanity thrives. And then there's the others that are sucking our energy from us. So here we really have to pick. And the sucking the energy from us means we're fighting, we're arguing, our cortisol is spiking, we're angry. The other one means all of these things are taking place, but I have the tools to align me.
Yes.
And I'm okay with my imaginary friends as long as they don't drive me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's kind of like everything really truly is in divine order, because this is the time when the split comes along. You have to have something that creates darker darkness so you can have lighter lightness, right? So
Yes.
so it kind of all balances back into that neutral zone, if you like. It all at some zero.
Yeah.
But at the same time, finding that divine neutrality, use your tools to get there. And yeah, absolutely, the way I look at it, Jolé, the different ways I can connect these days is like whether I'm just standing or whether I'm sitting anywhere. And as soon as I start to connect, I just get this buzz. I just get this buzz that
Mhm.
comes here, and it just feels like an instant connection. And I think because I've done it so long now, it just feels, and it does feel great. I love
Yeah.
that sensation, and I can be driving the car.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You know,
I'm
you
not,
don't want to get into that theta brainwave while you're driving, but
no.
you can feel your body. We're so programmed to sit in the center of our head and to all of our energy is right here in this cranium, right? And we have all of this down here that we're not even paying attention to, that's holding worry, doubt, fear, childhood trauma in the thighs, lack of creativity blocks in the arms. And we're not working with it. And a lot of us are just working out, going to the gym, doing this, not realizing we could use that time to move out some of this trauma.
Yes, yes, indeed we can. And that's where we're heading. And this heart-based kind of unity consciousness is definitely the way we're going. A couple of comments have just come in, so let's just take a quick look at that. We got Lindy. It says, "Don't forget the flooding in Dubai, which were admittedly to be the result of cloud seeding." Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Right.
They had some enormous fires actually just in recent times as well. So yeah, there's all sorts of things going on. I've got Jennifer from Northern Ireland. Hi there, Jennifer. Glad you could be with us. And Ronnie's here. Walking meditations
Hi,
is good too.
Ronnie.
Walking meditations is good too. I like to do
Yes.
my meditation that way. So yeah, 100% with you there.
Yes. I think Dr. Joe has walking meditations too. They're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he did, because he kind of did
Yeah.
like a global one on a couple of
Yes.
occasions, didn't he? Because I know Anita from Italy, our high priestess, who's part of our community as well. She kind of did the walking with Joe kind of meditation.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's that time? Do you think it's time to get to guided meditation?
Yes, I think it is.
Right. Okay, guys. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to Neale Donald Walsh, and God is going to help to bring us into Jolé's wonderful guided meditation today. So without further ado, here we go.
This paradigm shift will take great wisdom, great courage, and massive determination. For fear will strike at the heart of these concepts and call them false. Fear will eat at the core of these magnificent truths and make them appear hollow. Fear will distort, disdain, destroy, and so fear will be your greatest enemy. Yet you will not have, cannot produce, the society for which you have always yearned and of which you have always dreamed, unless and until you see with wisdom and clarity the ultimate truth, that what you do to others, you do to yourself. What you fail to do for others, you fail to do for yourself. That the pain of others is your pain, and the joy of others your joy, and that when you disclaim any part of it, you disclaim a part of yourself. Now is the time to reclaim yourself. Now is the time to see yourself again as who you really are, and thus render yourself visible again. For when you and your true relationship with God become visible, then we are indivisible.
And nothing will ever divide us again. And although you will live again in the illusion of separation, using it as a tool to create yourself anew, you will henceforth move through your incarnations with enlightenment, seeing the illusion for what it is, using it playfully and joyfully to experience any aspect of who we are which it pleases you to experience, yet never more accepting it as reality. You will never more have to use the device of forgetfulness in order to recreate yourself anew.
Today's meditation is going to focus on the removal of fear and filling up with joy. So please take a deep breath in and exhale. Relax your body. Put your feet flat on the floor. Your palms face up on your thighs. Wiggle your sit bones and get comfortable, because we're going to ground our energy by visualizing, creating, imagining a grounding cord of a natural earth element connected to our first chakra between our sit bones, 6 inches in diameter. Take a moment, visualize a beautiful grounding cord of a natural earth element connected to your body, portal. And as it moves through the chair, through the floor, and it starts to move through the layers of Mother Earth, traveling at the speed of love, it roots itself into her core. You are rooted and grounded into Mother Earth. And once you're rooted, these golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles automatically appear, blanketing the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, cleaning off any disease, any illness, anything you're ready to let go of and release that is no longer serving you. And while this is going on, call your higher self back above you. It is commanded, my higher self stand at a comfortable distance above my crown. It is commanded, my aura layer be 1.5 feet around me, and my astral body snapped in. And this is your soul architecture, your spiritual communication center. And now you're ready to work. So take a deep breath in, exhale gently, and on the exhale, visualize the bottoms of your feet opening like the lens of a camera. And a beautiful color representing Mother Earth that resonates with you. This energy, see it begin to pool in the bottoms of your feet. This is earth energy, Mother Earth. You can pull in these vitamins and these minerals that you need But this earth energy is there to help heal you. So see it and feel it pool in the bottoms of your feet. And when it reaches a certain level, it begins to travel up the side channels of your legs. And so let this happen while you bring your awareness to the crown of your head, and you open that like the lens of a camera. And immediately the divine knows to allow for that golden, cosmic, life force energy to rain down. And you see it raining down on your higher self, fortifying it. And as this rain comes down onto your aura layer, some goes around it, and then the rest of it just melts into the top, coming down into your crown. Feel that beautiful, warm, golden life force energy just saturate your brain and just come in, removing, resolving any limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, doubts, worries. As this golden life force energy is recalibrating your neurotransmitters, repaving those synapses and how they fire, creating a rhythm and an energy of flow within your brain and your mind, cleaning out and decalcifying the center of your head and moving out those animalistic tendencies that do not serve, that may be sitting in that limbic system, as that energy then begins to travel down the spine, lighting up each vertebra, telling your nervous system it is safe for you to move to unspeakable beauty, to let go of fear. False evidence appearing real is an illusion which you are resolving and dissolving now. And as that beautiful 85% cosmic gold life force energy meets with that 15% earth and starts to fill you up like water fills up a cup, all of the cells in your body start popping, crackling, coming into life, filling up with life force, moving out disease, moving out illness, filling up all of the systems of your body. Watch this energy in the combination of Mother Earth, cosmic gold life force energy filling up every cell of your body, moving up past your knees, your femur, your thighs, moving up, moving out that childhood trauma, moving out any excess, moving into those hips, those reproductive organs, the colon, the liver, the kidney, the spleen, working out any fear, any worry, any doubt that may be holding in your body, any traumas, any embarrassment and humiliation that may be sitting in the gut is now going down that grounding cord, being filled up with gold light in those spaces and places where that energy is moving out. As it moves up, up, up to the heart, and it bifurcates and it separates, going down into the hands, moving out those creative blocks, opening up those channels of creativity, of love, of life, as it moves back up into the neck, into the brain, and begins to sprout out the side channel of your crown and your feet, sprouting out in its entirety from the middle of your hand chakras, filling up your aura layer as you breathe with the rhythm of your body. Sitting in the center of your heart from a place of unity and love, you are creating space, positive space within your body, safety, security, prosperity, and all of your cells are aligning you with the laws of the universe. So from this place where Mother Earth and the divine have converged in your energy field, and this essence is sprouting out and onto your aura layer, filling it with joy and safety, magnetizing all of the good into your life. From this heart-centered space, I want you to imagine a beautiful golden sun above your head, put there by the divine, sitting inside of that beautiful cosmic gold life force energy that's raining down. It's also above your higher self. See what that looks like. Work it out. There's stuff sprouting out of the side channels of the feet and the crown. It's sprouting out of the hand chakras fully. This essence, what color is it? How is it filling up your aura layer? What does it feel like and look like? And as this golden sun above your head is being filled with unconditional love by the Creator, you are going to see your name pop out just a little out of this golden sun, because this is yours. And inside of your name are high-powered magnets that's going to call all of your energy back. But right now, we're going to just let the Creator fill this cup, this golden sun, with unconditional love as this earth energy and cosmic divine runs through our body. And from a heart-centered space outside of our aura, to the right and to the left, we're going to put beautiful light-colored roses. What do they represent? They're a universal trash bag that's going to take all of your energy that no longer serves you, energy you're holding on to from someone else, energy of experiences that you remember, that you go over in your mind, places and things. You're going to open your third eye like the lens of a camera. And whatever's in the center of your head, it doesn't matter. You're going to start cleaning it out and moving it out into those roses that is 5 feet outside your aura, to the right and to the left of you. Yes, we're going to work on removing and resolving trauma, negative thoughts, and fear from our energy field, our body, our mind. So I want you to move out your mother, your father, your siblings, your family, your job, your car, your clothes, your house, your children, your just any and everything other than you. I want you to take a moment and see that move from the center of your head out into those roses outside your aura layer. And these roses can take in as much as you can give it. And when you feel like it's full, push it energetically 10 feet away from you. Just command it to be so and blow them up. See them turn into beautiful fireworks to entertain you for a moment, and then transmute into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. And when you have moved all of those people, those places, and those things outside into the roses, outside your aura, there should only be an empty room with you sitting in a comfortable spot, viewing out of your third eye. Everything that is in there has got to leave. Put it into those roses outside your aura layer. Take a deep breath in. Give those roses a push energetically 10 feet away from you. Blow them up. Turn them into beautiful fireworks, which transmutes them into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. And bring that golden sun down through the higher self, down the aura layer, and then it focuses itself down your crown and mixing in with that earth energy and that cosmic life force energy, filling you back up, giving you all your energy back, making you whole. And now we're going to work on moving fear out of our body. And through creative visualization, we are going to move fear into the roses outside our aura or down our grounding cord. We're going to fill up with gold light, but we're going to add an extra step and work with the pictures we are holding in our aura layer. So take a deep breath in from a heart-centered space. Reconnect with the energy moving through your body of Mother Earth, the divine, and you, making your nervous system safe, pushing out into your aura layer as you breathe with the rhythm of your body. Now, if you have not put the roses back outside your aura layer, keep your brow open, breathe with the rhythm of your body, and command fear that you are holding in your body to show up, show itself, and turn a bright red color. Where are you holding your fear? In your arms, your shoulder blades, your hips, your feet, your heart, your mind. Wherever it is, I want you to turn it a bright red color. And put a golden sun above your head. And it's filled with love, unconditional love. So as this fear commanded to show itself, shows itself as a bright red color throughout your body and your energy field, I want you to flush all of that red down your grounding cord. And maybe some of those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles have gone with it. And then they get replaced because we're cleaning off the grounding cord. And then that golden sun that's above your higher self, above your crown, I want you to see it come through your higher self, come down through the aura layer, come down your crown, and fill up all the spaces and the places where you moved out that red fear. And make sure all of it goes into the core of Mother Earth, every drop of that red into the core, and she transmutes it, turning it into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. Now, we've gotten rid of the energy of fear within our body. And if there's more, just keep turning it red and flushing it down and filling up with gold. We're going to move on because where does this fear come from? How did we even get the program of fear to begin with? Children really don't have it. So it is commanded in our energy field, in our body, that all of these fear programs, these cores, these chips, whatever they are that are fear within our body that we've been programmed, I want you to identify where they are. Where do you feel your body making itself known? Like for me, my left elbow is, I feel it. Feel my hand. You see, wherever your body is making its presence known is where that fear chip is residing. And it doesn't have to make sense. But what I'd like you to do is either pull it out and put it into the rose outside your aura, or see it, open up a pathway within your body, your skin, and see that move out of your body, that part of your body, and into that rose outside your aura layer. There may be many, or there may be one, but move out the program of fear. Move it out of the mind, because the mind is what interconnects you with others. You have a brain, but the mind meld, mass consciousness, the mind has been programmed. So make sure you move the program of fear out of the mind as well as the body. Moving it out into the roses outside your aura layer. Putting a beautiful golden sun filled with unconditional love and divine integrity above your head and your higher self. And when you have moved out those programs, those core and those chips of fear, give those roses a push, blow them up, and bring down that golden sun that's filled with all of the love, all the programs of love, of joy, of peace, filling up the spaces and the places in your body where that fear programming resided. You're replacing that with joy, with love, aligning you with your purpose. Allow for that essence of that golden sun to travel throughout your entire body, pushing its way out into your aura layer, and some of it goes down that grounding. Now, we know that pictures accompany the fear, and we hold pictures in our aura layers. These are triggers. It's what makes us react in ways that fail to serve us. And so I'd like for you, some of us, you'll be like, it's hard for me to see it. It doesn't matter. Command for these pictures that were attached to the fear program, core and chips. Move out of your aura layer and your energy field and line up in front of you. Underneath these pictures, you're going to put roses. Why? Because we're going to drain all of these pictures of their color, which drains them of their charge. You put a golden sun above each of these pictures. Because once we drain the color, we bring this golden sun down and we fill up this picture with the gold light. Why? Because now we're taking the lesson from these experiences and we're letting go of the charge, the trigger, the emotional reaction that sabotages. So command for all of these pictures to be removed from your aura layer in your energy field and to line themselves up right in front of you, outside of your energy field. You're going to place roses at the bottom of each of them and golden suns at the top. You're going to drain these pictures of all their color. And it doesn't matter whether you can see the color or not. You just do it. Drain it into the roses. Bring the golden sun down and let it fill up the picture, freezing that in time. Now you have the lesson from that experience. All of those small roses that are under the pictures that you have drained the color into, you're going to move those out into the big roses to the right and to the left of your aura layer. Yeah, we're doing work here. Move them, those roses filled with the color, out into the big roses outside your aura layer. Bring those golden suns down into the picture. Each one of those pictures, you want to fill it with a golden sun, freezing it to take the lesson. When you're ready, you're going to give those big roses outside your aura layer a push 10 feet away from you, blow them up, turn them into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. And these pictures, these beautiful golden pictures now, with lessons all throughout them, You have what is known as a spiritual memory bank in the back of your neck, which stores all of your lessons throughout lifetimes. So before we put these pictures in that file cabinet, we're going to purge it. So I want you to visualize, please, the back of your neck, a file cabinet, and I want you to see it opening. Open it, open it, open it. It might go on for miles. It doesn't matter. And you're going to say to yourself, for all of the lessons that I have embodied and mastered, we're going to purge you out of my file cabinet. So what do you see? You see roses underneath your file cabinet, taking in, purge all of the things you've embodied and mastered. You no longer need it. And what do? You take those roses and you throw them into the roses outside your aura layer, the big universal trash bags. And all of the pictures that are in front of you and filled with gold, you're going to see them fly into that file cabinet. And they know exactly where to go. If you have it alphabetized or if it's numerical, these pictures know where to go because they are you. And when they've aligned themselves into formation where they should be, close your file cabinet back, give those roses that were outside of your aura layer a push 10 feet away from you energetically, blow them up and turn them into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. Surround your aura layer in roses. Put a golden sun above your head. And this golden sun will be filled with divine truth, divine integrity, divine authenticity. And as this 15% earth energy is still running with the 85% cosmic gold, and all of your energy has been called back, and this essence moves throughout your body, pushes itself out into your aura layer. And that golden sun, divine authenticity, integrity, and truth, is now ready to come down through your higher self, aura layer into the crown, mixing in with all of that divine energy that's already you, the joy, the expansion, the space within you that has been created because we have moved out fear. And any time that fear may come knocking, ground your energy, turn her bright red, send her down, fill up with gold, and go on about your day. So now, take a deep breath in. Exhale. And as you exhale, see some of that golden essence of that gold sun that you just brought down. Move down your grounding cord, chasing all those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles down into the core of Mother Earth, bringing your grounding cord into the present moment, clean, clear, filled with gold light. Take another deep breath in. And on the gentle exhale, visualize the bottoms of your feet closing like the lens of a camera. And you see that beautiful earth energy that was of a color that resonated with you recede back down into Mother Earth. You're going to take another deep breath in. Let it fill up your body. And as you gently exhale, see your hand chakras closing, visualize them closing like the lens of a camera, along with your brow. And remember, there's a beautiful golden portal between the center of your heart and the center of your head that creates unity between the two hemispheres of your brain and your heart. Similar to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Take another deep breath in. And on that exhale, close your crown like the lens of a camera and see that heavenly energy ascend back up into the heavens. And just feel your energy free of fear, powerful, and filled with joy. As you take another deep breath in, and as you gently exhale, open your eyes.
Wow. Oh, that was amazing.
Well, that's a fear, like you can put anything there. A disease, fear, doubt. And what you want to do is, because of the years of, first of all, you've been giving a program, you can see your child go from being fearless, now it's fearful, right? Where did it come from? How did it happen? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my God, stop. Right? And it's just to keep us safe. So let's not judge the fear. Let's just see it and go, you know what? You don't serve me anymore. You have served your purpose. I have learned my lessons. It's time for me to release you, right? But how do you do that? We don't exactly know. We all know we want to release the fear, but how do we release it? Ground, turn it red, send it down, fill up with gold. I mean, if you look at life, it's the same way. What do? We take out the trash, we put a new bag in, we flush the toilet. All of these principles work across the board, right? So utilize them to help you with your energy. Fill up with gold. Pictures, you're driving, right? And you're thinking about when you were 5 and you were on the playground and Tommy hit you. You're still, holding this energy from the experience with Tommy. Get rid of it.
That's
How do you
Tommy
do that?
for you.
Pop out that picture, drain it, fill it with gold light, store it in your memory bank. And now when somebody calls you, a rotten head or something that Tommy did, you don't go crazy. Now you'll be like, okay, I get it. And you can move on, right? So these are just a few of the things that will help you to manage your energy, because oftentimes, you hear these words of, just let it go, get over it. Ow. You can write, you can scream, you can do all of these things. But if you just sit down sometimes and really work with it, you see it in your body. It's here. Ooh, I'm holding it in my heart. Okay, let me turn it red and send it down. These things really help.
Yes. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? And I did feel the power of that. And hopefully our community have released all their Eeyores, and they won't be having any nightmares, because we've been able to release, and Eeyore's gone into the big rose outside of our aura and is now divine life force energy for anyone else to use.
Exactly. And, sometimes my mind is thinking faster than my mouth can move. So please excuse me.
No. Honestly, what you do is it blows my mind. I could never do that. And Sean the Shaman has arrived a little bit late, so she's saying sorry, mister, and she's going to go back over the replays. She says, I love you guys so much. Sean the Shaman, Cottage of the Priests, we love you
Thank
too.
you. Yes, we do.
Yeah, and I do love this, because it does feel now as though there's real momentum going on. We've
Yeah.
gone into this timeline split. We're starting to see these darker energies play out their role, but we know how to find our place of divine neutrality. We know how to release the fear, and this is a practice, right? So once we establish that and we have the tools at our disposal, then we can just grow and grow into this world of unspeakable beauty, because it is about what we choose to create, right? We are creators.
Yes, we are. And for other creators, especially spiritual practitioners, people who do this work, people who maybe have been doing it for years, we would love for you to reach out to us and become a part of our community and contribute your knowledge and your wisdom, so that we can definitely lead the charge for humanity towards unspeakable beauty. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to anybody that you feel could use this, even people who can't, send to them too. They might know somebody. And so we can get the word out there and Elevated Planet can grow.
Yeah.
We're not asking for perfection. I do this work. I'm not perfect. I still watch TV and eat burgers every once in a while. So, be kind to yourself, but at the same time, be more aware of when the creator, your intuition, is talking to you and working with you, and really try to listen.
Mhm. We're all perfectly imperfect, just exactly as we're supposed to be.
Yes.
So what was it we were saying last week? It was again from Conversations with God. There is nothing that I have to be. There is nothing that oh no, there's nothing that I have to do. There is nothing that I have to be apart from who I am being right now. And it's kind of like these things that, in fact, I made a note to write out another flip chart. I don't know whether I've got space for it around me, but I put my these little snippets that keep coming back to you that kind of really empower you into this beautiful kind of way in forward. Anyway,
Yeah.
we need to wrap
Yeah.
up.
Yes. And one more thing before we go. I do this sometimes. For adults, it's color therapy, and when you're stressed, when you don't feel good, when you have moments where you're like, I've done my work and I don't know anything else, color. Work with the chakra color, let your mind relieve itself so that the spirit can show up. That's just one thing other than
Very
journaling.
good. Very good. Yep, yep. And it's important to get these messages out there because, again, it comes down to that thing again, the conversations with God kind of thing. It's about imagination, right? It's allowing the imagination to come back through because that is where the real power is. So anyway.
And joy.
And joy, absolutely. And that's what one brings the other, right? So once you allow the imagination to take you and enable you to do, whether you're doing the writing, whether you're doing the pictures, the drawings, whatever, it brings you joy. So anyway, thank you to the community, as always, for being here with us. Thank you for all the comments that have been coming through. Truly appreciate you. And we will be putting the newsletter out tomorrow with all the links to this, the edited version of the show, and also with all the usual bits and pieces that we have on there. Anybody who wants to be part of our community and wants to join our distribution list, email me at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life or go onto our website, which is elevatedplanet.life/contact, because that puts you through to our free format contact page. So any comments you want to share with us, as well as maybe providing your email address so you can go on our distribution list, always great to hear from you, and guarantee that we will always respond to you. So anything else, Jolé? We covered everything. We're
Pretty
done.
much.
Cool.
Just to say, we're so grateful and honored to be doing this, and we look forward to, working with you all in the future.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely, and it's a joy working with everybody here. And we've got another message from Joy, who's with us now as well, and Felicia, who says, "Thank you, wonderful tools. We are joy, peace, and love." And yeah, we're coming together for a very good reason here, because there's a frequency that permeates throughout our community, and that phrase there just encapsulates it beautifully. Thank you, Felicia. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jolé, as always, and we will see you in a week's time, albeit anybody who can make the Thursday evening UK time, or what is 10 o'clock in the morning? No, 11 o'clock in the morning in California, and I'm getting confused now, 2 o'clock in the afternoon for Eastern time. Anyway, I'm going, but thank you, Jolly. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
See you next week, or see you on Thursday. Goodbye.